Welcome to this offline run, as in I am not streaming on Twitch. I am just doing a local recording of a console run of Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes on the very easy difficulty. This is being played on my Wii, because I don't own a GameCube. My Wii is modded just so that I can play region-free games on it. So we will boot up the Wii. It's now actually going to require me to swap to the Wii controller. The Wii motion controller. I can't remember what it's called. Wiimote, that's it. There we go. Booting it up. It looks very bright because I've increased the brightness because Twin Snakes is very, very dark. So that's why I've done that. I'm playing a Japanese copy of the game. The Japanese copy is cheaper than an English copy of the game. It does include English dialogue and English subtitles anyway. The other advantage over playing a European version, which is what I would be playing if I hadn't modded my Wii, is the European version runs at 50 Hertz rather than 60 Hertz, and that means it runs slower. So you don't want to you want to play the Japanese or the American version of the game. You don't want to play the European version. I am using a DualSense controller. That's got nothing to do with my Wii being modded. I bought a dongle. It's called a Blue Retro Wireless Controller Adapter for Nintendo GameCube console. It's this thing. It allows you to connect up to 4 Bluetooth controllers to this black unit, and then you plug in the 4 controller ports into your GameCube or your Wii. Very helpful. I've got a DualShock 4 here as well. I'll be swapping to this to fight Mantis, because Mantis requires a controller change. A couple of settings changes. That one's the most important. Quick change must be on previous. New game. This is going to be a very easy run, but the Japanese names of the difficulties are different. So our very easy, or the English very easy, is equivalent to the Japanese easy. That goes all the way through. The swap over is very hard. Japanese have a difficulty called very hard. The English version doesn't have a very hard difficulty. Both of them have the same name for extreme though. So easy or very easy on radar off. Game start. 3, 2, 1. I'm just gonna make sure that I am not on. Okay. Just making sure I'm not on OBS, otherwise I'm going to push page down to start the split, and it's going to immediately change scene. 3, 2, 1, go. Live split over there is just for, when live split is not an official timer here, it's just a nice tracker. I have done this run before. I don't have my old saves because I lost them all. And that run wasn't overly fantastic. That was before I'd got my new hardware, which allowed me to use other controllers. I was using third-party GameCube controllers, which were terrible. It's not very good controllers. I never had a GameCube growing up. I don't own a GameCube. That's why I'm playing on the Wii version. Never had a GameCube. Twin Snakes is the only GameCube game I own. And because I never had a GameCube, I never got used to the GameCube controller. So I really dislike the GameCube controller as a result. I love playing Smash Brothers on it. I'll play Super Smash Brothers on a GameCube controller all day long, but other games, particularly, sort of analog-heavy games, no thank you. I will, I much prefer, a PlayStation or Xbox controller for that. So Twin Snakes, if you don't know, is a remake. It is the Metal Gear Solid 1 remake, released exclusively for the Nintendo GameCube after the release of Metal Gear Solid 2. It is simply Metal Gear Solid 1 rebuilt in the Metal Gear Solid 2 engine. That causes some problems. The game was not very well received because of the changes to it. They went with a different director. Hideo Kojima did not direct this game. They used a different director. I forget the name, but it'll probably pop up on screen. Oh no, we're done with the opening credits. And as there was, they went with a very sort of over-the-top, bombastic version of the story. Like Snake jumps off missiles, and at one point he throws a grenade directly down the tank's canon. It's a bit messy, and it doesn't really stay true to the spirit of the original. Gameplay-wise, the problem is that Metal Gear Solid 1's gameplay and environments were all designed with the Metal Gear Solid 1 engine in mind. They weren't designed with the Metal Gear Solid 2 engine in mind. So you lose some of the nuances and some of the things that made Metal Gear Solid 1 so special. The very earliest example we're going to see of this is the Ocelot boss fight, which is just completely butchered from the original. But some boss fights, I would say, are better. The Sniper Wolf fights certainly are better thanks to some slight, better better mechanics with the PSG-1. The M1 tank fight, in my opinion, is much improved. The fight in the original is a bit naff. But yeah, Ocelot is a much worse fight. As I crawl through the vent, I am equipping and unequipping my M9. The reason for this is it resets Snake's crawling animation. Even though we're not seeing his crawling animation, I'm in first person. It resets his crawling animation, and that's slightly quicker. It's actually really important in this vent to do this. It's important at all times when you're crawling to do it because it's faster. But in this vent in particular, it's faster because we're going to be able to skip a guard rotation. There's a guard in the next room, and he's not going to be in our way when we run straight over to the elevator. So we'll follow the mice. Another neat thing about this game, almost the entire voice cast from Metal Gear Solid 1 returned to redo the dialogue in the game. They did make a couple of changes. Cyborg Ninja is voiced by someone different. That was an artistic change they made. There's probably a couple of other ones. David Hayter, who obviously is famous for being the voice of Solid Snake, I think he had his pay reduced in half. Or his pay cut in half. So that they could use that budget to get back the original cast. So heading into the first major fight of the game. It's not a boss fight, is a guard rush. There's 3 guard rushes in the game, and the game throws the most difficult one at us straight away. And we got our first trick of the game as well. If you don't include equipping and unequipping a weapon to crawl slightly quicker, which I don't. It's not really much of a trick. The first trick we're going to go for is called the SOCOM roll. The prison cell that we're in, outside, you can see the SOCOM that we want to use, the handgun. It's a bit difficult to see through this gap. There it is. You can just see it spinning over there. What we're going to do is line up on this wall about here. I'm going to make a slight nudge over to there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a pause buffer. Oh, I missed it. What I tried to do was roll into the SOCOM. Unfortunately, it didn't work. I missed it. So I'm going to have to grab the SOCOM here, move to here, swap to the SOCOM, and just take out these guards.
What are you waiting for? Shoot!
Don't talk to me like a...
I'm supposed to take the last one out with a headshot so that I have time to go and get that ammo in the locker. Hopefully it'll be alright. But I need one of these. There we go. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Oh, that guard that died right next to me dropped some more ammo. That was really handy. 2 more guards, and then this guard rush is done. Awesome. Slightly slower than the previous attempts. I haven't done a full run with these splits yet. I've started some runs, but not finished them yet. So, with the first guard rush out of the way, we're going to go down and fight our first actual boss. This is going to be the Ocelot boss fight. And as I said earlier, this boss fight is a massive... it's just nowhere near as good as the original. We're just going to stand on the opposite side of the room and shoot each other in first person. Gotta grab some C4 first. C4. Swap to C4. I'm going to swap to my rations as well. Drop some C4 there and blow. There's certain locations you can drop it so that the C4 will blow up the wall but won't hurt Snake. I'm going to do the same thing again here. Pop it there. Stand here. This one I actually do want to get hit by the C4 blast because it's going to push me into the wall for this cutscene to start the Ocelot fight. And here we go. One, two, three. One, two, three.
I won't help you. A gun's power isn't in it.
Oh. It's a bit more difficult to see the laser sight on a hardware run. The stream, the quality of the feed on coming through the capture card is actually pretty good. It's very dark. I've had to like boost the brightness and contrast. However, the feed that I get to my monitor is not very good at all. But obviously the feed that I get to my monitor has no latency, whereas there is some latency with the capture card. So we have to call Meryl here. The reason we call Meryl now is that when I then go into the tank hangar, she's going to open the door that I need her to open. Grab some extra ammo just to be on the safe side. I'm coming to one of the hardest tricks in the game, the laser roll. I need to swap to the SOCOM here. In the next room, we need to... Oh, fast elevators again. Very nice. In the next room, I need to dodge some lasers, and they're not random. They're always in the same way. I have to make sure that I get a roll at exactly the right time. I did it. I'm gonna shoot all three of these control panels. There we go. And go. Excellent. That's good. There's a slightly faster version. If you're very quick at shooting the first two control units there, you can roll the third laser. Because it's in the right position, but I didn't want to press my luck. I got a good initial roll, even though I shot in the middle of it. So happy with that. Right, tank fight. The tank fight for me, I think this is way better in Twin Snakes than it is in the original. We're going to shoot the gunner rather than throw grenades at him. And to do this, I need to stand in a very specific spot, which is here. Excellent. There's quite a bit of a twitch shot here. I'm going to use the auto-aim. Use the auto-aim to aim at the guard. And then I need just a slight movement up to shoot him in the head. There we go, like that. Gonna move over here so that he's gonna have to turn. Ooh. There we go. Wonderful. The M9 here. A little trick that we can do in Metal Gear Solid 2. It's just not useful anywhere. Oh, I need to crawl. There we go. So we can get through without crawling. Not crawling there is... Oh, damn it. Not crawling there is much quicker. The other thing is this codec is only triggered by Snake being on the floor. So when you first enter this room, you're crawling on the floor. So if you manage to avoid it, if you manage to avoid crawling, then it skips the flag for that codec to start. Unfortunately, I then got shot to the ground because for some reason these guards have shotguns. They didn't have shotguns in the original, and yeah, it means that we do then get that. Grabbing the Nikita. I'm going to grab these stun grenades just to be on the safe side here. And head down. I'm going to head to our next boss fight, which is the ninja boss fight. I'm going to quickly swap to the SOCOM. And then as I leave, swap to the Nikita. Before we can get to the ninja fight, of course, I need to destroy the explosive panel. Got a codec call to answer, so I'll prepare the codec button. And fire. I'm going to use the right analog stick to fiddle with that. Doesn't do anything. It's just funny. Pretty good journey there. That was quite nice. And then just before it hits, I'm going to swap weapons. Swapping weapons will make it explode, and it just means that I've already got the SOCOM out. Bunk. Right, let's go and fight the ninja. This is the thing that I really like about the Twin Snake speedrun is that boss fights are thick and fast. No, there's no messing about. It's you've done a boss, you're going to do the next boss in the next like minute or so. In this boss fight, I'm going to keep the ninja in his first phase throughout by doing a loop. I do need to concentrate to make sure I get this loop right. Swapping to the Nikita as I kick, so that Snake does increase damage. Because, oh, I got that one slightly wrong. Just standard kick damage there. Whoops, got a bit too close to him. Make him deflect. Oh, what? There we go, back in the groove again. Gotcha. One more. And to we do have to get the ninja into his second phase in order to finish the fight. Right at the last second, just don't shoot him so he doesn't reset. Get him into phase 2, and then we just finish the fight. Finish the fight with a roll there. Lovely! So that's it. That's the ninja fight. So rather than going through all the different phases, we don't have to do hide and seek. We don't do the bit where he's like blowing up or anything like that. We just keep him looped in that one phase. Use the as I mentioned briefly, we swap to the Nikita as we land the kick because Snake's damage increases with different melee weapons. Even just having the SOCOM equipped increases his damage. So it's important that we get the Nikita out on the kick, because if we get it out before the kick, then it'll interrupt Snake's animation. He'll equip the Nikita, and the Nikita's he doesn't PPK with the Nikita. He doesn't punch kick when you've got the Nikita equipped. He swings it like a massive club. But if you equip it during that kick animation, it still triggers the additional damage of having the Nikita equipped. Going to roll over that guard there so that I don't step over him slowly. Roll into this door. Next boss is Psycho Mantis, or as my splits currently have him called, Ramstein Keyboard Player. Grab these stun grenades. Yeah, just to be on the side. I shouldn't really need both sets of those stun grenades. So let's head up to Psycho Mantis. As I exit this elevator, I'm going to shoot to distract Meryl and get her to run into the bathroom. There we go. There she goes. And we need her come with us into the Psycho Mantis fight. I'm going to be swapping controllers during this fight. Now, my last run that I did this on very hard. For some reason, my second controller didn't work. I'm hoping that doesn't happen again. I think I might know why it didn't work, and then all of a sudden it did start working. Gonna roll into Meryl there, because it's the fastest way of getting into this room. She gets up and runs over. I remember when I said having a weapon equipped does slightly more damage. We're going to PPK Meryl and knock her out. Must have the SOCOM equipped for this. If you don't have the SOCOM equipped when you do that PPK, Snake doesn't quite do enough damage to knock her out. So I'm now going to swap to my other controller. This controller is set up in controller port 4, so that Psycho Mantis can't read my movements. So I'm just mashing. There we go. I can swap controllers. And it still hasn't worked. Oh, it started working after I put after I then moved the first controller again. So I think I need to like move the first controller first or something. And the the controller setup is wrong for this as well for some reason. This is going to be interesting. Now, unfortunately, I was what you try and do with Mantis, and I didn't do it because my the controller hasn't worked properly. What you try and do with Mantis is do a phase skip here with Meryl. I needed to do a punch. No, I need to shoot Mantis to skip this bit. If you do exactly enough damage to Mantis, which is a bunch of headshots plus a punch, you'll get a phase skip. You've already done enough damage to stop Meryl from shooting me there. Get another quick headshot here on Mantis.
Stop. Meryl.
There we go. And when I say headshot, for some reason, Mantis's right leg is programmed with headshot damage on it. Unfortunately, I didn't quite hit his right leg there. Still haven't hit his right leg. Ow. This has not been a very good fight. There we go. I can swap back to my other controller now. So a little bit rough, the controller not working. It seems that you still have to do at least one input with player one's controller before you swap controllers for that fight to work properly. Because that's twice now that's happened. That's interesting to note for the future. But that's it. I don't need to use that controller again. I want to try and not get. Ugh. Unfortunately, the pupper got in my way, and I tried to shoot the pupper before the. Please don't hit me. No, I didn't roll into Meryl.
What are you doing?
Oh.
Wrong. I thought you were good with dogs.
Well, that was a comedy of errors right there. Missed the roll and then still got triggered for the reason I shot Meryl and then tried to roll into her was to skip that little cutscene where she was like, "Snake, I thought you were good with dogs." Because I messed it up, it just took longer. Oh well, it's not a huge issue. Skip some cutscenes and this codec. And now it's, it's almost time for the sniper wall fight, but we need a sniper rifle in order to fight her. Now, luckily, Twin Snakes improves on the pacing of the game quite dramatically over Metal Gear Solid 1. We don't have to go all the way back to the armory to get a sniper rifle. The PSG-1 sniper rifle is still there. I'm going to roll that dog. Okay, shoot that one. The PSG-1 sniper rifle is still in the armory, but if you've played Metal Gear Solid 2, you will know that there is a tranquilizer version of the PSG-1 called the PSG-1T, and that is much closer. So this backtrack is massively reduced. Thankfully, it's not the only backtrack that is massively reduced. There's another backtrack that's massively reduced as well. Come into here. PSG1T is just here. We don't have to answer that call. That's the call to say, oh, you got a sniper rifle. Quick, go and save Meryl. There you go. So no going across the snowfield to go back and get it and coming back and all that. Nope. Nice and easy with this one. And like I say, not the only big backtrack in the game that is that's improved on. I see, and another reason I really like Twin Snakes as a speedrun. I do much prefer Twin Snakes to Metal Gear Solid 1 as a speedrun because you lose a lot of the really annoying pacing issues. Yeah, the big backtracks. The thing you don't get with this is you don't get some of the bigger, more iconic skips of Metal Gear Solid 1. You can't skip straight into torture for the any percent run. There's no boba skip or anything like that. Now the Sniper Wolf 1 and 2 fight, actually, for that matter, are both random with where Sniper Wolf's going to go. Her going behind the pillar there, this is random. There's nothing I can do about this. I just have to sit and wait it out. Hopefully. Oh, she's just going to keep going there. I need to get headshots. Wow, this is horrible. That was nice. And one more headshot. Done.
I got her.
Wonderful. That was... I made the best of what I could with that. That was not a very fast fight, but that was mainly down to Wolf just constantly hiding behind that pillar. As well into this cutscene, I've swapped to the PSG1. That's going to put my M9 on my previous weapon. So next time I need to equip a weapon, I can just unequip. Well, I'll have nothing. I'll be able to equip it, and it'll be the M9. If I didn't change weapon as I rolled there, when I then went to equip a weapon, I would instead equip the PSG1, which is obviously not ideal. I'm going to skip torture there. Sorry, Joe. Shout out to Joseph Joestar, another Metal Gear Solid 1 and Twin Snakes runner who usually saves Meryl in runs. But by submitting to torture, we have doomed Meryl. She's going to die. We're going to escape with Otacon. Not a lot to say here in the prison. I'm going to be knocking on the wall to distract Johnny. Johnny here, as he does his route, he can stop and sneeze. So to try and avoid it as much as possible, to try and avoid Johnny from sneezing, I'm going to keep knocking so that he keeps telling us to shut up. And he can still override his voice line to sneeze. The first sneeze always happens. It's that bit scripted.
She took my clothes.
So now I'm going to keep knocking to get him to keep delivering voice lines.
Hey. Shut up in there, will ya?
Some people will tell you that you need to do this in Metal Gear Solid 1 as well. So there you go. He sneezed. So unfortunately, I didn't manage to stop his voice line there.
Shut up in there, will ya?
Some people will tell you need to do this in Metal Gear Solid 1 as well. And my understanding has always been you don't need to do it in Metal Gear Solid 1. I can stop now. He's reached his final location.
Shut up in there, will ya?
If he sneezes now, it's not really a problem. Whereas usually 1, and now he should get diarrhea. There we go.
Oh, my stomach.
My stomach. Yeah, Johnny here really suffers from bouts of diarrhea. He's going to run off to the bathroom. And now I'm going to do another very difficult trick called the prison roll. There's my equipment there. I need to grab my equipment and get out of that door before Johnny goes to the bathroom. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to roll into the equipment during the in-game scene that plays where Johnny gets another bout of diarrhea and has to go off to the bathroom.
Here. Where?
The reason for this is not only to get out of prison quicker, but it also skips a story flag. The game will still think that I'm in prison because Johnny hasn't died or gone to the toilet. So the game still thinks we're in prison, and it's going to skip the next cutscene and one of the longer codec calls in the game as well. But only if I get this right. It's a very precise roll so that Snake rolls into it whilst we lose control of Snake. So, bump Johnny into here. I'm going to double bump him in the next room to get him into the right position. I'm going to stand here. Bump once. Bump again. And roll. Yes! Just! I nearly didn't grab that. So we go. We put our equipment on whilst Johnny is preparing there and leave. And we know that we've got this right because there will be no gun turrets out here. There we go. There are no gun turrets. And I can immediately equip my M9. That's why I swapped to the PSG-1 as I left the previous room. Cool. So as I say, the game still thinks that we're in prison. It's not expecting us to be here. So because the story flag doesn't progress, it means we skip the next codec and cutscene.
Is there somebody there?
Here, I can just take these guards out. Whoops. This door won't open whilst I'm in an evasion, so I just need to wait for the evasion to end. Luckily, it doesn't take too long. There we go. Back in the nuke building, I do exactly the same thing that I did earlier. Try not to get shot this time. Take out the first guard. Roll up the stairs. Take out the second guard, roll past him so that I don't bump into him. Much better nuke building one. We'll make our way all the way back to the communication tower, and then I'm going to have to change discs. Ping. So run all the way through. Don't have to worry about the wolves on the way back, because I've equipped the handkerchief. So the wolves aren't going to be a problem. Handkerchief isn't just equipped for the wolves, though. It allows for a very fast item change as I go into the rappel. You'll have noticed that from MGS2, actually for MGS2 and Twin Snakes, the weapon and item menus were grouped. For some reason, they dropped it in MGS3, but they grouped similar items together. It doesn't exist in MGS4 either. The handkerchief and the rope are both grouped on the same piece. I need stun grenades next. So it just means once I've grabbed the rope, I can then just immediately equip it. There is the point where the cutscene has not played. So that would normally you'd see a cutscene there, and then there's a codec call where Snake's feeling really guilty about Meryl. But because the game progress flag hasn't updated, it still thinks we're here. And now you're gonna just see my t-shirt as I change discs. Swish. And I will split as soon as I see the Metal Gear Solid logo disappear. On to disc 2 then. The comms tower here, I'm going to prepare a stun grenade straight away. That stun grenade that I threw is going to explode straight away and knock those two guards out. Grab some more stun grenades. For here, just going to climb. I will use a combination of stun grenades and the M9 to take out these guards. I'm going to start cooking a stun grenade now. Throw it. Takes that guard out. Grab some more stun grenades there. Oh. luckily, as is the case on the whole, are very easy. You can take out guards in one shot. Actually, during this section, you can take out guards with one shot of the M9 on any difficulty, even on extreme. You don't have to stop and do headshots. I want to start cooking my next stun grenade here. 416. Take out that guard. One more stun grenade and I'm done. Yeah, I grabbed way too many stun grenades throughout this run. I did not need to pick up quite so many. And I'm going to start cooking my last chaff grenade here. Last stun grenade here. And take that guard out. Wonderful. Keep the stun grenades equipped. I still need to use one more stun grenade before the run is out. Onto the roof, and here we get the quick item change that I was talking about with the handkerchief. The rope is now next to the handkerchief in my inventory. So as I roll into this next cutscene, let's quickly swap to the rope. And we move on to the rappel section. You'll see my split for the previous section was called Noba Skip, because there is no Boba Skip in Twin Snakes, sadly. And instead we have to do the rappel. Luckily, the rappel is very, very easy in Twin Snakes. We use the same method every single time, and it's really fast. There's a slight glitch at the end to speed up the end of it. I'm going to jump down twice up against the wall. Bad RNG. You can. If you can avoid taking damage from that, and then down left, and then one down, Snake will bump into the girder and drop straight down, and that's the end. Here on the bridge, to get past the bridge, I'm going to use a stun grenade, so I'm going to equip it. But then immediately swap to the SOCOM. And here, oh, I stood a bit too far forwards. Got him. Try and get a headshot on that guard, which was that headshot was really good considering I was being shot at. And these guards, for some reason, whilst they've got rifles, the rifles have knockback on them. So that was really lucky to get that shot in after I moved a little too far forwards. Into Tower B, we've got this really, really long climb down and back up again. Roll into this cutscene. It's actually really advantageous to roll into the cutscene. Not only does it mean the cutscene plays out, it starts a little quicker, but Snake's not quite as far over to the edge, so it's not as easy to fall off. Swap to the chaff grenades here and roll into this next cutscene. There are gun turrets in the rest of the tower. On the way up, I'm going to throw chaff grenades to just temporarily knock them out. On the way down, though, I'm going to throw grenades and actually destroy them, which looks a lot more impressive. And here, I tend to be a bit quiet because I want to roll at the end of each set of stairs. And I actually use the sound of Snake's footsteps to determine when I'm going to roll. There's a certain rhythm. On the last one, I'm going to swap to the Stinger and put it on my previous. Always great to try and do any menuing whilst in a roll, because then it prevents you from losing any momentum. If you are just running around and you do a menu, then you might lose Snake's momentum. No, he might stop and start very briefly, but in a roll, you pause the game for the roll, and then he finishes the roll as you come out of it. Next boss, worst boss in the game, and even more so because I'm playing on very easy. The Hind is going to, in the second phase of the Hind fight, is going to play hide and seek. He's going to drop down below the stage, and the easier the difficulty, the more time he spends down there, because it's sort of supposed to give you a break. The other horrible thing about this this fight is the fog that's in the game. I don't know where it's gone. The fog in the game makes it very difficult to see the Hind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. Oh, that missed. So yeah, he's now going to spend an awful long time just down here. I need to try and get some extra shots in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I get that right, I'll hit him on his way back down. That's great. Trying to get 2 hits in with every one of these is great, but the second shot is very, very tricky because you won't lock onto him. We just have to wait for him to come out. It's random with how long it takes him to come back up. 1, 2, 5. It only locks on right at the end. 1, 2, 5. Oh, I just wouldn't. And the lock on isn't that great. It can take a while. That was almost perfect. I can actually start.
Damn, I lost him.
I love it when he says that. He's down there and it's like, damn, I lost him. It's like, sorry, Liquid, but you were the one who dropped down. There we go. I used up all of my ammo there so that I could grab another pack, so I'm guaranteed to have 10 stinger ammo coming out of this fight. Overall, not too bad a fight. I only missed 1 double shot. I didn't quite have as much damage as I could have had starting that phase. It's always a trick to try and get as much damage as done before we start stucking down. So it could have been better, but, you know, yeah, I also have to deal with the RNG of the fight. I've got my grenades equipped. The reason for that is so that when I go onto this ladder, the grenade will now become my secondary weapon. I'll have nothing equipped, so I can immediately equip it again. Like this. Now I'm going to use these grenades to take out the gun turrets that I temporarily took out with chaff grenades on the way up. I'm going to cook at a certain point here, and I'm going to throw as I hit the top of the next set of stairs. And if done correctly, if timed correctly, I've taken out all of the gun turrets. I've got to do this 4 times. Here's hoping, fingers crossed, that I get all 4 of them. This is a trick that I've gotten very good at over... I've been running Twin Snakes now for about 1.5 years. Seems crazy. And number 3. You can just avoid... You can just go through them. You don't have to use grenades. But if you do, the game lags horribly when the gun turrets shoot you. And also you take damage. You don't really want to be taking damage. And hopefully that's 4 for 4. Nice! I've got 1 more grenade. I am gonna still use that grenade later. As I wait for the elevator, I'm going to equip the Stinger and equip the C4. We've got another guard rush coming up. The elevator fight with the stealth guards, sometimes referred to as the 4 horsemen or Ultra Box. I don't actually know why it's referred to as Ultra Box. Luckily, these guards are really, really easy to take out. I'm just going to plant 1 bit of C4 and detonate it. Guards defeated. Worth noting, you can do that on every single difficulty except Extreme. If you do that on Extreme, your C4 will kill Snake. But every difficulty, that trick works. The other reason you might not want to do it on Extreme is if you're doing a big boss run and you're not killing any guards. But big boss on Twin Snakes is not pleasant. Particularly the M1 tank fight. I've never done a big boss run. I started learning it and I gave up at the M1 tank because the trick to doing it is just such a mess of a trick. Sniper Wolf 2 fight. Again, we are subject to RNG here, but it shouldn't be too bad. I'm going to stand on this. Oh, she's over here. There she goes. I just want to try and shoot her in the head. gonna back out, or is she gonna start running again? And because I'm stood on a pack of ammo. Nice. Because I was stood on a pack of ammo, every time I went down to 0 ammo, that pack just replenished, and I could just, so that means I could just, you know, keep blasting away to land that shot. So up to the SOCOM as I roll into this next cutscene. And we're sort of getting into the final stretch of the run now. We don't have to change discs here as we did in the original, because we've already changed discs. The disc change for Twin Snakes is obviously much earlier because we've already seen it. They managed to you get a bit more data on the PlayStation 1 version because it's not as much data. Grab all of those. I actually really only should have picked up the 1 stinger pack. You don't really need the second stinger pack there, but it's a nice backup. We're not going to use the chaff grenade that I picked up. Final guard rush is here on the cargo elevator. On other difficulties, you would headshot these guards. On very easy, because guards go down so quickly, I am just going to blast them. Just completely blast them. Way quicker than trying to aim headshots. So as soon as I gain control, just... There we go. Here, I want to equip a ration, and... Oh. There we go. I have my stinger on previous. One time where we really need rations in the game is up against Raven. For Raven, we're going to get all up in his grill. We're going to shoot him with stingers, and as he's shooting back, unlike the original, Snake doesn't get knocked back by Raven's shots. So we're just going to stand there with the stinger out and just shoot him. And whenever he shoots us, we just tank it. It is possible to do this without any rations, but it is not advised. There was a Twin Snakes very easy tournament a year and a half ago, which is why I started running the game. And I came 4th in the knockout round that I got knocked out. I forgot to equip a ration and I died to Raven. That wasn't what that and a combination of one other thing going wrong lost me it. If I'd not died there, it still wouldn't quite have been enough to beat my opponent. So here is the Raven fight. Very, very easy. Again, you do this on every single difficulty except Extreme. Extreme is a very different fight. I'm going to move to here. There we go, and for the very last shot, swap to the SOCOM, because now that puts my SOCOM on previous, and when I equip my next weapon, I'll equip the SOCOM. I actually got my positioning wrong there. I was supposed to turn left at the first box. That's because I've been playing on hard, and on hard he starts further up. That's the only other difference between the difficulties, is his positioning is a little different. So, because I swapped to the SOCOM, I can now immediately equip this. Well, my SOCOM's already equipped as I come into Warehouse North. I said earlier that we skip a lot of the... Let's take out that guard. Skip a lot of the backtrack. We are not going to come out of the underground base now that we've entered it. Unlike Metal Gear Solid 1, where we have to go and freeze the PAL key, heat the PAL key, we still have to freeze and heat them, but there is another method of doing so without us having to go to the warehouse and wait for 61 seconds, and then go to the blast furnace and wait for 61 seconds. In this room, we're going to get called Bioticon 3 times, but because of the time it takes to open and close the codec, it's actually quicker to just call him ourselves straight away. We can do that 3 times. That saves some time. You can do this in the original as well, but it doesn't save you any time. Going up the stairs here. I'm going to shoot here. That's going to distract this guard. And mean I can roll into him like that. Oh, I rolled a little bit too early there. Oh, nice. Immediately killed that guard. Backup unit's fine. I don't need to worry about them. They're not gonna be in my way. Fall up the stairs there. That's also fine. We don't need to worry about. Don't need to worry about that. We just needed to roll into the cutscene here. There's another ridiculous moment during that cutscene where to get to the other side of the door, Snake does like an aerial over the door frame, and it looks ridiculous. Gotta go and retrieve the PAL key, which there's no RNG for retrieving the PAL key. I'm gonna do is cook a grenades, throw a grenade, wait a second, and then roll. Because we haven't got enough alerts, and it's not worth trying to farm alerts in Twin Snakes, it doesn't really work. The PAL key is eaten by a rat. Unlike the original, the rat is always in the same location. It's always there, so you can kill it with a grenade without any problems every time. I don't know why I unequip. I don't know why I did that, because that's not even... I did need to do my other equipment, so I'm going to roll here to quickly swap to the PAL key. And make sure I take out this camera, because sometimes I forget to take out this camera, and then that's a game over. Yep. So that's PAL key number 1 entered. As I said earlier, there is no backtrack to the... Well, you can... I say there's no backtrack. You can, if you want to, still backtrack to the warehouse. You can still go all the way back to the warehouse, wait in the warehouse for 61 seconds for the PAL key to freeze, and then come back again. But in Twin Snakes, they added an additional method of freezing and heating the key. It's so much quicker. Going to come all the way over to the bottom right-hand corner here. I'm going to go over the edge there. You can see that there's 2 pipes there. One is a cold pipe. One is a hot pipe. I'm going to shoot the cold pipe, and that's immediately going to change the PAL key to frozen. Don't have to wait. Don't have to wait 60 seconds or anything like that. It freezes it instantly. We'll do the exact same thing. Just shoot the red pipe for heat instead. Much, much quicker. Again, another reason why I really prefer Twin Snakes to Metal Gear Solid 1. It's a much neater run. It's far more interesting to watch as well. We'll go put the second PAL key in. The other thing is, because I'm not leaving rooms and coming back out, you know, I'm not leaving this area. There's a loading screen here to come out of here, but it's still part of the same room. We're not going into a different room. So guards don't respawn. The camera that I shot doesn't respawn. So, okay, this sequence is still a little bit boring because there's not much going on. I'm just running over to that pipe, freezing it, running back, running over to that pipe, heating it, running back. But it's a hell of a lot better than MGS1, where it's that, but 3 times as long. In the past, I've done a race against another Metal Gear Solid runner called House Test, where we've done our original versus remake race. He runs Metal Gear Solid 1 very easy, all bosses, and I run this. And all of the tricks that MGS1 has, you know, on very easy for MGS1 PC. I should speculate it's the PC version. He has GME. He has the Boba Skip. He has, I think Boba Skip got found at that. Yeah, Boba Skip had got found by that point. So he's got Boba Skip. He's got GME. He's got the area reloader in PCVE. All of those tricks. And he can skip codecs instantly. On MGS1, you skip codecs. On MGS1 PC, you skip codec. You just push escape or start, and a codec will just skip. You don't have to mash through it or anything like that. You don't have to scroll through it like we do on this. It just ends the codec immediately. Instant loads, instant cutscene skips, all of that, and I still win with Twin Snakes. it's usually just I usually win by 15-20 seconds. We are both shooting Liquid in the escape section at the same time, and I finish slightly quicker than he does. Oh, I missed a point there. I was supposed to call Otacon immediately as that cutscene went, but I could say much about other things that I forgot. Just meant that opening that door was slightly slower. But that's all right. Penultimate boss, Metal Gear Rex. You might think, oh, Metal Gear Rex, the namesake of the game, must be a tough boss. Nope. Not at all. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. With the position, 1, 2, 3. With the position that I'm stood in, 2, 3. I will never get hit by the missiles. I'll sometimes get hit by the machine gun, but the missiles will never hit me in that position. I'm going to do the exact same thing again and stand in a position where you won't get hit by the missiles in the second phase of this. What's even better is the position you need to stand in is the position Snake starts in. I'm not going to move. Just going to immediately equip the stinger and just take out the boss. The Metal Gear Rex fight in this is a joke. A complete joke. It's a little trickier on extreme, because you kind of want to dodge the machine gun bullets. And the fight takes longer the higher the difficulty, because you don't do quite as much damage. But here we go. Oh, helps if I don't turn. 1, 2, 3. 1. Oh, missed. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Okay, admittedly a little messy in the end there because I turned and then my timing was off. I can't remember actually what my PB for my really old console run is. I think it was something like 58 minutes. So this is almost certainly a PB, I can tell you that. There's still quite a bit of the game to go. And here's the Liquid fight. I'm going to set the Liquid fight up, do a chunk of damage there, like that. I'm going to get him to come down here, do another chunk of damage there, get him to go in the corner. I'm going to attempt what's called a lottery roll, which I didn't land, but that's why it's called the lottery roll. The chances of getting it are very slim. Unfortunately, Liquid is... I'm going to throw Liquid over there so that he doesn't fall off the edge. And I get him into this corner. That's really nice. Just going to loop him like this now. There we go. That's the Liquid fight. There is still a little bit of time to go, but the RTA that LiveSplit is showing is significantly faster than IGT. The game's IGT doesn't include some loading times and some other times in the game. So when I see the final IGT, it will be significantly quicker than the game. In fact, I think the IGT it's probably going to be about a 56. From my experience comparing the times of the IGT with RTA, it's usually around this time. But we'll see. Not a flawless run. Certainly some errors. My controller setup, I just need to make some adjustments. I know why my controller setup didn't work correctly for Psycho Mantis, and it's very easily repairable. Kablamo. Now I have the final escape chase. Very, very similar to MGS1's. We're going to shoot some barrels to kill the guards, and then we're going to shoot Liquid a load of times. And yeah, this has been Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes. Hopefully, if I've got time, I'll probably try and do another run of this. Oh, there we go. I'll probably try and do another run of this, because this could have been better. But if not, thank you for watching the VOD. I don't know why I'm starting to close it out now. I'm gonna sit through the credits as well. I've got to watch the credits to then see the IGT at the end. So I've got plenty of time yet. Ba, ba, ba. Right, liquids. Shot straight away. That's nice. Just wait for him to aim. As soon as he aims, turn and shoot. As we transition into these different phases, it is possible to get 2 shots off on liquid. It's very, very tight. It's kind of I wouldn't say it's frame perfect. No one ever likes to use the frame perfect, but it's not far off. So I'll get one hit in as we transition over. I'll just keep shooting him. Get that hit. That's a good hit. And the IGT stops as the final cutscene plays before the credits. There's a section just before the credits where we get some real world information about the Start 3 program and reducing nuclear missiles. When that starts, that's when the IGT ends. So that's where I'll stop the timer. That's now. So 5920 RTA. So in my experience, it's about, I think it's something like 2 minutes that the IGT is behind. So this is probably maybe a 57 something. Which isn't too bad for a bit of a derust from very easy. I have been playing hard this week. I've done 5 runs. Either 5 or 6 runs of hard this week. So going back down to very easy is not difficult. I forgot one thing going through the canyon after getting out of prison. I got that evasion. I got an alert and evasion, which I had to wait out because I forgot about the camera. Because you do the canyon differently on hard. I'm gonna hopefully that hasn't been too slow. I just mute the music here because the music in the credits can be hit with copyright strikes, and I don't want anything getting flagged or anything. So yeah, if you've been watching this on YouTube, if this is my upload for YouTube, and I don't manage to get another run done in time, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you want to see me do these ones live and obviously interact with me and chat and stuff, I stream it every Tuesday, Thursday, and occasionally on weekends at twitch.tv/NickRPGreen. There'll be a link down in the video description below. At the moment, I've been preparing a bunch of GDQ submissions. This is one of them. I don't expect this to get in, so actually I might not even do another run because if they're not gonna pick very easy, they're gonna pick hard or extreme. Still need to get my extreme run done. So I might just use this anyway. It doesn't really matter. I don't think anyone's really going to look at it. It's just there to have it. So yeah, I've been focusing on those. Hopefully I'm going to be streaming this weekend to get my extreme run done. I'll be streaming again on Tuesday. If I haven't got an extreme run done that I like, I'll be doing that then. And then GDQ submissions are over. I've submitted runs for Klonoa 2 from the Fantasy Reverie series, Unmetal, which is a 2D indie action game which pays homage to the 2D Metal Gear games. I am the best Unmetal player in the world. I can very safely say that. And I've also, as well as this 80% very easy, hard, and hopefully I'll be submitting extreme as well. The other run is Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, the all keratins run. I don't expect Metal Gear Solid 3 to get in because a GDQ that we just had, there was a all camos and face paints race from Metal Gear Solid 3. So I don't think they'd run Metal Gear Solid 3 back to back, but I've got runs recently that are good. I'm the world record holder for all keratins, so it made sense to submit that as well. And game number 5, I haven't got anything. I'd considered Metal Gear Survive as my 5th game to submit. The problem is Metal Gear Survive is always online. So if Steam ever goes down, for maintenance, even if it's just a quick 2-minute maintenance. If it loses access to the server, run dead. Same with Konami. Take the game offline to do maintenance every so often. And when I say maintenance, it's not that they're actively working on Metal Gear Survive. They're just ticking through repeating events. It just repeats events, but it has to go down to update the game to the next event. I don't know why they're still. Well, I don't know why they still support it. The thing is, if they don't still support it, then the game's dead, I assume. I assume at some point they will turn the servers off for Survive and we will not have Survive anymore, which sucks a little bit. Because I like Survive. I like the speedrun for Survive. It's a bad game, but I like it. Oh. Yeah, just gotta wait for the credits to end. Take a few minutes. And then we get to see the final score on the score screen. Whilst I'm waiting, I'm gonna open up speedrun.com and just have a quick look where I am in the past with Twin Snakes on console. So I normally I do emulator runs. I run the game on Dolphin version 5, like most other people do. The reason why I'm getting into hardware runs at the moment is for GDQ. GDQ don't accept emulator runs, so it has to be done on official hardware. So that's why I've been getting back into hardware, getting my new dongle so that I can use the controllers I like to use, yeah, so I can actually submit Twin Snakes. I've never submitted as much as Twin Snakes, certainly for 6 months of my life. Twin Snakes was my main speedrun for a while, but I've never submitted it to GDQ because I've only ever done emulator and not really touched console. I did do console once before on very easy. Back when I was using Geiku controllers, it was a really bad run. For console very easy, I'm 5th on the leaderboard with an IGT of 58.31 and an RTA of 1 hour and 24 seconds. So this is definitely a PB. Only by 40 seconds. This could be a lot tighter. Like I said, it's not really a priority for me to get a very easy run done. I now need to get focused on extreme and get an extreme run in. Extreme, I always say, if you can run very easy for Twin Snakes, you can run every difficulty up to hard. Once you've done hard, though, moving to extreme is a challenge. Extreme is a very, very different speed run. The main thing with extreme is your ammo is very limited and your rations are very limited. I think you can't hold that many rations at once, and there's only one guaranteed ration in the game. There's no ration drops at all. So normally where you'd find a ration under a bed or hiding behind in a locker or something like that. There's no rations that just appear in the world. The only way you can get them is from them randomly dropping from guards that you've eliminated.
Yes.
Or by there's one guaranteed one, and it is the ration Otacon gives you when he brings you the ketchup in prison. He also brings you a ration, the only guaranteed ration. So there is ration RNG in extreme, and it's really needed. So you really. It's really, really beneficial if you can get one more ration. The one other ration you can get is if you remember when I went across the walkway between the two communication towers, I shot a guard. If that guard's death drops a ration, then great, take it.
Yes.
The other option you can do with that is rather than do the SOCOM shot and the stun grenade, you can use the PSG-1T to trank all 3 guards, and then you increase your chances of getting a ration threefold because you then have 3 guards who can drop rations.
It takes a well-balanced individual such as yourself to rule the world.
Nearly at the end.
Yes, sir.
It's got to wait for Ocelot to finish his little chit-chat with Solidus.
No one knows that you were the third one. Solidus.
Ooh.
What should I do about the woman?
He's referring to Naomi there. Naomi Hunter.
Yes, sir. I understand. The surveillance will continue. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Goodbye, Mr. President.
There you go. IGT of 57 minutes exactly. That is a decent improvement. That's an improvement of one and a half minutes over my previous console run. I'm pretty happy with that. Great. I will get that submitted, and that's another one for GDQ. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you liked this run, please go check out some of my other videos. There should be a video on screen now for my very easy tutorial. If you liked this run, you'd like to do it yourself, I have a tutorial on how to do it. So go check that video out that's on your screen down below right now. Thank you very much for watching. Good night, or good afternoon, or good morning, whenever you're watching this. Bye!